Josh Russell with Dave Brown and Corey Macklin, ready to go with another USWA Championship Wrestling, and as usual, another dandy day.
Indeed, the USWA debut today, wrestling as a single of the Men on a Mission's Mo, right here in that ring today.
Yes, sir. In addition to that, we're going to go back and take a look at an event that in some way brought smiles, another way we weren't sure about, and that was the breakup between Tracy Smothers and Jesse James Armstrong. We'll take a look at that one later.
And PG-13, favorites of the fans are going to be here in action today, too.
Wildfire, Tommy Rich, and Dangerous Doug Gilbert will be in the ring today.
And we'll have a special presentation to the USWA heavyweight champion, Brian Christopher.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I hope that you'll take note of that particular thing. We wanted to bring something up in regards to Jeff Jarrett, who participated in the big show last week. And he was going against tough competition, and Jeff, in the middle of that match, ended up getting himself injured. His back is injured. He was taken immediately to the hospital. Jeff is in bed now. We're not really sure how long he's going to be out.
No, but he's in touch with Randy Hales, and Randy Hales says not ready to go right now, so the Unified World title is sort of in limbo until it's determined Jeff's condition.
That's exactly right, and we wish him the very best and hope that that comes out. Very unfortunate thing. Hey, we got a lot of things to do. Let's get on with it. We'll be back and ready to go with our opening setup in just one moment.
Tony Williams and Corey Macklin in the ring right now. Corey's not going to wrestle today, but we're going to be going to him in just a moment for introductions of this big match coming up. Tell you who is going to be wrestling today, though. The Men on a Mission's Mo. I think most you wrestling fans quite familiar with Mo and Mabel, and Mo is joining us here today, his debut in the USWA as a single wrestler.
That's Sir Mo to you, Dave Brown. Listen, for 3 long years in the World Wrestling Federation, I've been part of a tag team known as Men on a Mission. And in those 3 long years, the credit always went to King Mabel. I have no reason or no understanding why, because I was always the brains of that team. I was always the man taking all the bumps, doing all the work, while he stood on the outside and took all the glory. Well, let me tell you something, Dave Brown. I'm here to get my glory. I'm here to get me some respect. I'm here to prove to all these stinking people out there in the wrestling world that I am a superior athlete and I can make it on my own. I'm going to start here with this little weakling, Tony Williams, and then you know who I'm going after next, Dave Brown? The so-called USWA heavyweight champion. Brian Christopher, you snot-nosed little brat, I'm coming after you. Today is the day you meet the boogeyman.
Mo, Sir Mo, from Men on a Mission, headed to the ring. Let's do the same thing. Here's Corey.
Okay, Dave, we're ready for action at one fall. 10-minute time limit for this one. And Men on a Mission, Sir Mo, before the bell jumps on. Tony Williams, the opponent. Bill Rush, the official referee, guys.
All right, well, sorry about that, Corey. We had you waiting there, and then Mo jumps Tony Williams. Look at this press. Boy, I thought Tony Williams might have had an upset very quickly.
Beautiful move by Williams, but it's turned around as Mo came up with a knee lift, and he did it in a hurry. Kind of hard to believe a guy like that can move that quick, but he moved that knee lift in there, changed the whole outlook of this match as he nailed Tony and then follows it up and pounded on him. He's had all the experience in the world. Little super kick, Mo style, as he popped him. He was saying the so-called U.S. heavyweight champion, Brian Christopher. He is the U.S. heavyweight champion, Mo. In the backdrop, taking Tony Williams up and over.
Tony gave him a battle early on, but Mo has taken control. Mo is a very large wrestler. Now, he referred to Mabel as tag team partner for several years. He's even bigger. Well, this guy is big and solid. Look at Tony Williams take it down again. And again, he gets a count of 2, but can't make it stick for a 3 count. It's hard for a guy Tony's size to hold a guy the size of Mo down.
Man, it's amazing. See that move? He did that turning. What did we get? A 2 count as Bill Rush is... he grabbed a hair and picked him up.
Yeah, he picked him up. He picked him up. I don't know if he could have held him for 3 or not, but he certainly didn't try to pick him up by the hair as if to say, hey, I'm going to make a point here.
Speaking of Brian Christopher, we've got Brian Christopher and Tracy Smothers in our main event today on this particular program.
Come on, boy!
That's just one outstanding list of things that we've got coming up.
Wildfire Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert coming up later, too.
Better believe it. Big knee back into the midsection again. Tony Williams out. There's what they call that Russian leg sweep as he hooks him and takes him right flat down. I'm impressed with the number of wrestling moves we've already seen from Mo. Gets a bad rap sometimes as a brawling type of wrestler, and this guy, he has got some moves. And Williams again. And I mean, he had him hammered where he just took that head right straight down to the mat. Tony Williams out in the middle of the ring against Sir Mo. And Mo over to the ladder, climbs up the turnbuckles to the top rope. Referee Bill Rush holding out. And he flies with that big elbow.
There's a 1, 2, and it's all over. Sir Mo from Men on a Mission in his USWA single debut gets a victory over Tony Williams here today, because he leaves the ring victorious first time around.
Well, I got to tell you, he was impressive indeed as he came out with a victory with some...
You already know. You don't have to tell these people nothing. Brian Christopher, I'm tired, brother, but Brian Christopher, beware. The boogeyman is after you.
Hey, Mo, you've had your chance to get out what you had on your chest. Speaking of Brian Christopher, we're going to get Brian out here in just a little bit as we want to remind you that it was not that long ago, as a matter of fact, that Jerry Lawler mentioned and brought out and we reintroduced, that is to say, at least in conversation, the Southern Heavyweight title, which was the original prestigious title for this entire area. And many, many great champions have held that belt. And when it became the USWA heavyweight title match, well, sir, we've got a guy that we are indeed proud of. He sometimes gets a little controversial, but, brother, nobody has ever doubted the fact that he can get in there and go with the best of them, as he proved in his last match when he went against a guy who was undefeated in the WWF for some time, Tatanka, and he ended up going against him. Here is Brian Christopher, the USWA. Thank you, Dave. I forgot to bring that out with me, because this is what the purpose of it all is. The opportunity to get Brian over here and make a presentation of a brand new belt that is going to be presented to the current USWA heavyweight champion, Brian Christopher. Congratulations, Brian. And there it is. Is that not a beauty? That's the brand new belt. Let's let him get a good look at it right here.
Well, I really appreciate it, Lance. This is a belt right here you can be proud of. And you know, I've been on a roll ever since I beat Tommy Rich to become the new USWA heavyweight champion. And like I've always said, out with the old and in with the new. Out with the old belt, in with the new. Brian Christopher is the new, and I plan on remaining the champion for a long, long time, Lance.
Well, of course, you know, and I don't have to tell you, there's a lot of guys that want to make sure that you don't. There's plenty of them standing in line to take a crack at that title. We heard from one just a little bit ago.
That's right, Sir Mo. We heard from Tatanka last week.
You heard from me? You heard from me once?
You've been out here.
You hear from me again? Let me tell you something, you little snot-nosed brat. You've been spoon-fed for a long time. Guess what? Now it's time to meet your maker, punk.
Well, you've had your say about it. He's the man with a title.
Listen, I've said it before, I don't like people coming out here on my interview time, and this is my interview time, and you're not supposed to be out here, so I'd appreciate it if you'd take your big lord butt out through them curtains right there.
Let me tell you something, Brian. I'm not going to stand out here and play a war of words with you. No, that's not the plan. The plan is to beat you, to take that belt from you, and to end your stinking career. But I'm not going to do it out here right now. I'll get you later.
Well, listen, if you beat him and take the belt, then you can come out here and start that kind of conversation. Well, Brian, that's just one of them right there. There's a lot more in the wings waiting for
You know,
Brian.
he can join the crowd because there's been Tommy Ridge, Doug Gilbert, Tatanka. They've all come out here and said they were going to beat me and take this belt. Well, they hadn't got the job done, and Sir Mo's not going to get the job done. I'm the champion, like it or lump it.
And with a brand new, beautiful belt, congratulations again to Brian Christopher. And we wanted to introduce that new belt to the new champion. We'll take time out and be back in just a moment.
Our USWA referee, Bill Rush, is in the ring to officiate this next bout. First introducing at a combined weight of 396 pounds. Out of parts unknown, the Yellow Jacket. And his partner out of Millington, Tennessee, Charlie Laird. Their opponents today, a combined weight of 403 pounds. Wrestling from the hood, JC Ice, Wolfie D, PG-13, the USWA Tag Team Champions. Let's go to Lance and Dave.
Okay, Corey, the volatile PG-13 with their USWA tag belts around their waist. Boy, I was looking at Charlie Laird. I noticed him last week. This guy is really beefing up, Dave. And
Yeah.
he is looking big. Who's going to be starting in here? Yellow Jacket will be starting for that team.
Charlie Laird and the Yellow Jacket definitely have their work cut out for them today. This is a non-title match, but they're going against the tag team champions. Yellow Jacket tried to start it early by jumping Wolfie D in the corner. Wolfie just moved out of the way and grabbed him. And now Yellow Jacket finds himself flying all over the room.
Wolfie D, who actually, when you stand beside him, is a lot bigger than you may think he is. We talk about being a little tag team. Double foot in the midsection, and they hammered his head down in the mat. Charlie Laird comes in, and look at that PG work together. They are a team.
They amaze me how well they work. It's almost like a dance, dancing partners, the way they move together. Look at that.
Little tilt-a-whirl, cover 1, 2, 3. And JC Ice gets the pin on Charlie Laird and ends up with a very quick victory over the team of Yellow Jacket and Charlie Laird.
There's a big lesson there. Teamwork is what does it. Teamwork is what did it here today. The victory for those guys.
One of the things you always thrill when you see these guys, they're a little smart aleck sometimes, pardon me, but they are. But son of a gun, they look like they're having fun, and they really put it on. Good win for PG-13. We've got more. Be back in a moment. Hey, the King out here with us, and one of the reasons we got him out here, we wanted to talk a little bit about the sensational show last week down in the Mid-South Coliseum. What a crowd.
I want to tell you, Lance, it was fantastic to see nearly 10,000 people in the Mid-South Coliseum once again to see wrestling. It was fantastic. And I just, you know, even though I was really disappointed that I didn't come out the champion on this thing, I really felt I won the match. I mean, you know, I knew there were going to be a lot of Bret Hart fans there, and there were. But I think he realized that there were a lot more Jerry Lawler fans in the Mid-South.
Yeah, I believe you're right about that.
And, you know, I really wanted to win that thing, and in that match, you know, it was a situation where you had to go you had to get out of the cage, either going over the top or through the cage door. And I had him, I thought, just where I want him. I started heading for the door, and I turned around, I saw him crawling out, you know, trying to go over the top of the cage. But I really thought my feet hit the floor of the Coliseum before Bret Hart did. I heard a big cheer, but WWF referee, and, you know, I've raised my hands, and he went around and he said, King, I believe Bret Hart's feet hit the floor first. So he's still the champion, but I just felt great for Memphis. I mean, the Memphis fans were there once again to support wrestling. It was a super crowd. I want to thank everybody for coming out. What about the USWA wrestlers? I mean, did we make a show?
Oh, yeah.
It was fantastic. Here, Brian Christopher beat Tatanka, who Tatanka is one of the top WWF superstars for years now. Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert, you got to give the devil their due.
Give them the credit.
I mean, here they are in a triple threat triangle match with two of the top WWF tag teams, and who wins the whole shebang? Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert. And then Double J went out there, and barring an unfortunate, I mean, you know, if it hadn't been for an unfortunate injury to Double J's back, I think he had Ahmed Johnson on the ropes. Fortunately, he didn't lose the unified title. And so, you know, I just thought that everything went great for the USWA. And like I said, I want to thank all the nearly 10,000 people that showed up. And I want them to realize that, you know, I don't know how many years, it hadn't been all that many years ago, Lance, that wrestling in Memphis was the thing to do. I mean, it's a great thing to bring your family to. It's a great place to go and have fun. And it's still there every week with the USWA.
Every single week. You're absolutely right about that, King. And I got to tell you, I'm glad you said it, because we were talking after last Saturday how proud we were of the USWA and how they came through in that great day.
Right, and you know, I know this was, I took up a little bit of time where this was the opportunity that you guys used to take to tell everybody how they can get tickets to studio wrestling. So what I thought I would do is I would take this opportunity to give away some studio wrestling tickets myself. And, you know, I thought of a great thing I could do, Lance.
All right.
I mean, you know, you and I both, we live in Memphis. We go all around places in Memphis all week long, and I always have people everywhere I go. People say, hey, King, got any wrestling tickets?
Yep.
Happens all the time, doesn't it, right?
Yep.
Well, this afternoon I got to go get a haircut. Same place. You and I get our haircut at the same place, right?
That's right.
Perfect cut. It's going to be at it's 5731 Raleigh LaGrange Road. A perfect cut, and I'm going to be out there getting a haircut this afternoon. You want to drop by? I'll be there between 1 and 3. I'll have free wrestling tickets. And I may even bring a few tickets for it's going to be Wednesday this week, right? Wednesday night wrestling at the Coliseum. So come on by. Hey, we'll get our haircut together and get some free wrestling tickets, okay?
There you go. And tell Gina to be ready for me. I'll be out there Monday or Tuesday. Okay, right now we want to talk about that Wednesday action that's coming up down at the Mid-South Coliseum. A great card coming down, and with Jeff Jarrett's situation where they really don't know when Jeff is going to be back in action in there. It puts a new look at it, and so we'll tell you about that in regards to the main event.
Yes, indeed. Opening match. So 7:30 it begins Wednesday night, February 28th, the Mid-South Coliseum. The USWA is back in the roundhouse. First match of the night, Derek Domino and Harvey Lewis will be going against Spellbinder and Tony Williams. Well, I don't know much about Domino and Harvey Lewis, but I know Tony Williams is a battler. Witnessed the first match here today, and the Spellbinder, boy, he's had quite a record lately. Should be a good opener.
And then Miss Texas is going to be in a match which she wants. Now you'd say, hey, that's not right. 2 men in there against Miss Texas. Believe me, they're overmatched, because it'll be a handicap match with Miss Texas against Scott Bowden and Brandon Baxter.
A grudge match as a result of something that happened right here on television last week. We'll talk more about it later. Tracy Smothers with Brandon Baxter against his former partner, Jesse James Armstrong.
You want to see some pure action, I can promise you that the very next match is going to be nothing but that. We're talking about when dangerous Doug Gilbert and Wildfire Tommy Rich climb in there to challenge the USWA Tag Title Champion PG-13. Brother, they've hated each other a while, and they're going to take it all out when it gets together coming up next Wednesday night.
The USWA heavyweight champion is Brian Christopher. He's got a brand new belt presented here just moments ago. Sir Mo from Men on a Mission from the WWF is going to be in here as a single. He's already said, look, I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the belt. He gets his chance Wednesday night at the Coliseum.
And then the main event. What a dandy. This is going to be a 10-man elimination tag team match with the winner, the #1 contender for the Unified World title. This is going to be a bout that will have them all in there. Jerry the King Lawler, Too Sexy Brian Christopher, Wolfie D, J.C. Ice, Jesse James Armstrong, the Spellbinder, Tommy Wildfire Rich, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Tracy Smothers, and Sir Mo. And it takes on even greater consequences now with Jeff being injured. We don't know exactly what Bill Superstar Dundee walks into the studio. So the winner of that will be the #1 contender. Bill, I saw you a little bit earlier. Didn't know you were going to be out here on television with us. I thought you were just dropping by to say hi.
Well, I was. Then I got to thinking about it. Just like Lawler says, they come up to heaven to say, "You got any wrestling tickets?" Well, you know what they say to me when I walk down the street in Memphis? "Where you been, superstar?" Well, I'm out here to tell you. And that's why you look a little squeamish, because you usually tell the truth, Lance Russell.
Okay.
And howdy doody over here.
Bill, we can do this again another time.
Oh,
we got, you know.
We're going to do it today, brother. I drove by today to do it today because it's been bothering me since September the 8th in Ripley, Tennessee. You know what they said to me? I caused an altercation in the dressing room. Well, it takes two to do that. So, okay, so this is the wrestling business. That's what it's all about. So we get nose to nose. But it's all Bill's fault come the 9th, because when I got here to this TV station, you was here. Mr. Coffee comes running up to me and he says,
Bill, please, let's not get into that. This has no place
No.
here.
All you folks, they want to hear it, don't you? Yeah, right. Okay, so Mr. Coffee runs up to me and he says, "Randy Hale wants to talk to you." Oh, I figure, well, you're down in the production room, that's what you do. So I go down there. Who's there? You, Dave Brown, and Corey. And what do y'all do? Y'all get up and you leave. And you know what Randy Hale does?
I wish you would right now. We'll finish this and talk about it after. Hey.
You know what Randy Hale does?
Come on.
He looks at me and he says, "Bill, you are fired." I said, "On what?" He said, "You are fired." I said, "Why?" He said, "You know why. Hey, brother, it takes two to dance. It takes two to do a lot of things. And I never done it all by myself. But they fired me. 20 years I've been around here, blood, sweat, and tears. And they keep Brian Christopher, the only thing he does, he goes, "Ah!" And he thinks he's great. Then you got PG-13. Yeah, one of them's my son. They got stupid shorts on. They got sneakers on. Couldn't beat the way of a brown paper bag. And they fire me? No, sir. So, and you was in on it, because you could have come.
I wasn't in on any of it, Bill, and I think it's very inappropriate. As long as we've been around together, you come out here and start this stuff, Jamie.
Hi, Lance. Hi, Dad. How you doing? Good to see you, man. I'm glad to see you. How
Well,
are
I'm
you?
glad you finally woke up, walked out here with that wolf. You need to team up with your old dad. How are you?
Well, no, wait.
Huh?
First of all, I didn't come out here to team up with you. I come out here to tell you that what you're doing is embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing me, J.C. Ice. I don't want to be your partner, not that you're the greatest wrestler in the world, because I don't want to ride on the Dundee name. I made a name as J.C. Ice, right or wrong?
Yeah.
My boy, I made a name as J.C. I didn't want to be Jamie Dundee for the fact of they would say he's where he is because of Bill Dundee, and I did not want that, Dad.
Well,
That's all.
Whatever way you want it. I got you in the wrestling business. And talk about being embarrassing. It took that idiot that you drive up and down the road with till he was 22 to get a driver's license. It took him 8 times to drive out and
Don't
drive
start that stuff.
And you're telling me how embarrassing it is? He couldn't get himself lost in UK.
But you wasn't even scheduled to be here today, man. You need to come out here, man.
This is...
Sitting out here talking about somebody not having a driver's license, somebody getting fired. Yeah, you're right, you got fired. And it wasn't just nose to nose, Bill Dundee, and you know that. It had something a little more to do with just nose to nose, didn't it? Yeah, they fired you because of what you did. And I shouldn't be out here talking about this on the air. Yeah, we'll let Dave Meltzer tell everybody about it in the sheets. That's what we'll do. Yeah, Bill Dundee, you got fired. That's right. I didn't. I don't like you, and I hate your guts, and it ain't nothing. Hey, look, this guy don't care about you. This guy don't care about me. He don't care about himself, man. You don't need him. Get out of here, man. Come on.
Well, I'm telling you, Bill, already it's just what I said. You end up stirring up trouble now. You knew you come out here in the name of truth, and you get yourself right into the middle of a problem.
Well, let me ask you this, brother. I never even got a trial. By the time I got there, they just said you're fired. So we got nose to nose. So we do whatever. But it don't make no never mind, Lance. It takes two to do whatever it is you do. And they should have fired the other guy as well as me. In fact, they shouldn't even be here. You're out here talking about 10,000 people the last time you was at the Coliseum.
I know what you're talking about.
None of them ever drew 10 people to come see them. I'm the guy that did it.
You're sitting here talking about things that ended up that have no business being talked about out here, and you got to come out here and start bringing all this stuff up. We don't need that kind of conversation. Oh.
King, thank God there's somebody out here to see the light and tell all them people what it's all about.
Well, I don't know if I've seen the light or not, Bill, but I've seen the fact that you've come here today uninvited. But now I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, because some of the things you're saying are right, but Bill, some of the things you're saying are not right. So probably the best thing that we could do, I mean, hey, you're right in the fact that Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler, you know, hey, we were a great tag team. We've been on both sides of the fence. We've had some big battles against each other, too. But that's, you know, that's water under the bridge. This stuff about Wolfie D and J.C. Ice, that's a whole different story, and I don't think, I can't say that you're right coming out here and talking about it. Why don't we go, you and I, let's go to the back, and we can talk about it back there.
Sounds like a very good idea. Bill, we're always glad to see you, but not in the middle of a show
right.
out here.
He knows what's going on, and he saw the light, brother, and he knows what's right.
Okay, thank you, Jerry.
Okay.
We got plenty to go here, and we're going to get to it in just one moment.
Yeah, we did.
That I'm telling you was a little surprising. Brandon Baxter was involved as he was handling the team of Smothers and Jesse James Armstrong, and we ended up with some problems.
That was one of those things that just really didn't make a total amount of sense until all of a sudden we saw a payoff later on. Let's take a look. We got some videotape of what happened last time.
In the ring, Smothers is out of the ring. Wolfie D's got him. Baxter's got the flag now, climbing the rope. Again, and nails Jesse James Armstrong. A cover. 1, 2. He got it!
Yeah, we got new champion.
It backfires on Brandon Baxter not once but twice, and PG-13 has regained the USWA Tag Team title.
I cannot believe what just happened. That's what I get for hiring a man who can't do the job. You are the man who cost us the belts. You are nothing but a stupid, idiotic moron. You are a loser. You cost me those belts. You cost me those belts. He cost you the belts, too. You are nothing but a loser. L-O-S-E-R, you loser. Is that the best you can do?
You shut up and listen to me. I am the reason we had those stinking belts to begin with. Now, you know my last name, boy, and you know that Armstrong means nothing but winners in this sport. Bottom line is just this. I didn't never need no 110-pound punk to help me win. I don't give a dang what kind of contracts you sign me to. You smell what I'm cooking? 120-pounder?
You listen to me. That money I promised you, you want it still? You better shape up. You are a loser. I do not manage losers. I don't manage losers.
And to me, money ain't everything, Brandon Baxter. To me, money ain't everything. What are you talking about?
Right on top of the head, and look at Tracy Smothers. He's got that rebel flag standard, just beat the fool right out of his partner, or former partner, Jesse James Armstrong. And Brandon Baxter was decked by Armstrong, and then Tracy jumped in from behind and nailed him, busted it, and a check changed hands. We could see it from here, from Baxter to Tracy.
That's what we do with losers. That's what we do with losers.
Well, irritates me every time I see that, Baxter. Hey, we got some action in here, and let's go to Corey.
Okay, Lancer, we're ready for it. One fall, 10-minute time limit, 226 pounds. Out of Morristown, New Jersey, Tony Myers and his opponent making his way into the ring area, 253 pounds. From Marietta, Georgia, Jesse James Armstrong. Bill Rush, the official referee for our next bout.
Jesse James Armstrong probably saw the same videotape you did. As a matter of fact, he's probably been replaying that scene. That's Brandon Baxter.
Right now, do you hear me? This man is nothing but a loser. He cost us those tag team belts. That means he's also cost myself and Tracy Smothers all kinds of money. He is nothing but a loser, a lowlife. I made Jesse James Armstrong, and I promise you, I will break Jesse James Armstrong. He is nothing. He is nothing without being led by Brandon Baxter. When he was the USWA heavyweight champion, who won him the belt? It was Brandon Baxter. When I left, he lost the belt. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a loser. He does not even deserve to be in my presence.
Speaking of losers, your team not only lost the belt, you lost the team. They don't even exist anymore.
No chance to get the belts back. The team doesn't exist.
Because I surround myself with only the top guys. Look at that. Yeah, I got him now. He's killing him. He's a loser. Do you see that? Just exactly what I told you.
Tony Myers going in on Jesse James Armstrong. And Armstrong reverses it on him. Pops him to the left. Has him nailed in the corner. As Jesse James wrestling as a single today, no longer with Tracy Smothers and Brandon Baxter. Gets a cover, 1-2.
Armstrong not going for the 3 count. He picked him up. So, not yet. I'm not through with him.
That's good wrestling right there. You see that? Jesse James Armstrong has been had.
Yeah, I saw him poke him in the eye, and of course, I can't say that Jesse James hadn't done the same thing. Whoa, he missed him. That hurt.
This man doesn't have a clue. I've been up and down the road with him. He's nothing but a complete and total moron.
Armstrong, 1, 2, 3.
He just got lucky.
Tony
That's all it is. You wait.
goes down.
You just wait until you have to face Tracy Smothers. When you face Tracy Smothers, you will get destroyed.
Hey, let's get this straight right now. Last week, you just got...
Hey, we need to turn it down a notch. We need to turn it down a notch, baby. I just got back from vacation. I was out in Mardi Gras. Now, there's a real party city, Dave Brown. They got Bourbon Street out there that makes Bill Street look like Sesame Street. You know what I'm saying? And I was sitting there partying, having a good time, and I get a fax at my hotel telling me that not only am I no longer the manager of the World Tag Team Champions, but my #1 team has split up.
That's right. Thanks to him.
I was told on the fax that Brandon Baxter, my associate, fired this man.
Right. More than fired him.
Well, I got news for Brandon Baxter. Brandon, it's B&B Enterprises, Bowden and Baxter. You can't fire anybody without my consent. And what I'm out here today to do, that's exactly right. What I'm out here today, I'm gonna save us. I'm gonna put us back together. This is ridiculous, man. You and Tracy Smothers are a natural combination, man. You go together like welfare and all these people. I mean, y'all were meant to be together, man. Let's go back to the top. Let's put it behind us. Brandon, I've got him straightened out. I promise you. This will not happen again.
I'm willing to do it for one reason. You're right. We are well-oiled, and there's no but tag team, not only in this federation, but any federation can beat me and Tracy Smothers. One condition, that punk right there keeps his mouth out of my face or I break his stinking neck. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, well, I told you right now, I've got everything under control. Everything is under control. And what I want right now, Brandon, I want you to apologize to this man. And I'm not asking, Brandon. I'm telling you to. This is a lot of money at stake here, my man. We're associates, 50-50. Apologize to this man right now.
Well, Jesse James Armstrong, I guess it was just as much my fault that we lost the tag team belts as it was yours. So, right now, because Scott wants us to, I apologize. Let's go ahead and reform the tag team. Let's shake on it.
Come on, baby. Together again, man. Come on. Come on.
You heard that apology, right?
I sure
right
did.
to my face, and this stuff won't happen again.
Oh, man, no, wait. Wait, put it behind us. It's behind us now, man.
You got it, man. You got it. Me and Tracy Smothers been friends a long time.
Oh, yeah, that's the kind of friends you get when you hang out with Baxter and Bowden. Jesse James Armstrong being jumped from behind by Tracy Smothers, and he's taken a real fondness to that jumping people from behind, Dave. Last week he beat him with his... Yeah. Randy Hale's coming out along with referee Bill Rush to get him out of here.
You think I won't?
You're disgraceful. Why don't you just hit the road and get out? You're...
B&B Enterprises handles losers and white trash, baby.
I believe that. You handle everything in a way.
Friends, that's me, myself, and I.
Right from behind. We'll take a break and be back in just a moment. doesn't get any easier, bud. I'm telling you what, when you guys like Tracy Smothers around in here. I mean, I'm telling you, Tracy Smothers has gotten where he can't look a guy in the eye. He's a good wrestler, and yet he's taken to the stuff of catching people from behind.
Boy.
We have action out of town, and Mr. Corey's a man that keeps up with all of it.
Hey, I want to tell you about it. It begins tonight. Jonesboro, Arkansas, tonight. Not far from now, 8 o'clock is bell time, Earl Bell Community Center. Hey, now the box office will open at 3 o'clock today. Box office opens at 3 p.m. Advanced tickets are on sale at Front Page Cafe, or you can call area code 501-932-8885 for more information. For wrestling tonight, Earl Bell Community Center in Jonesboro. Big main event down there tonight, Lance, with that 10-man anything goes marathon match. Lasts 30 minutes.
Boy, I got to tell you what, that match is one of the best matches I've seen in the last 2 or 3 months. That marathon match. They get in there, and it seems to stir them up, and they really get going harder and harder trying to get those pins in, because it's the one that's got the most pins. What a great match that is going to be in Jonesboro.
No doubt about it. And you see the names that will participate in that marathon match tonight. And a special challenge match, last chance. Brendan Baxter versus Jonesboro's own Randy Hales down at the Earl Bell Community Center tonight. Hey, Wednesday night, Mid-South Coliseum USWA action returns to the Coliseum Wednesday night, 7:30 bell time, as the USWA returns with an all-star card. What a night of action. Of course, Lance and Dave will keep you informed on the entire card that's coming up down there. Wednesday night, Mid-South Coliseum. Hope to see you down there with us Wednesday. Friday night, March the 8th. Truman, Arkansas, for USW Wrestling there at the Old Community House, 7:30 bell time. The King, Jerry Lawler on the card, Brian Christopher, PG-13, Rich and Gilbert, Tracy Smothers, Jesse James Armstrong. Advanced tickets are on sale now for wrestling in Truman, Arkansas, March the 8th. Friday, March 15th, Paragould, Arkansas. There at the BC Lord Building at the Fairgrounds, 7:30 bell time for wrestling in the Paragould. Wednesday, March the 20th, we'll be back in Tunica, Lance, down at the Sheraton Casino. USWA Wrestling action. Boy, it is exciting down there.
And I got to tell you, it's a great place to have it, without a question.
Friday, March the 22nd, Blytheville, Arkansas, National Guard Armory on Division Street, 8 p.m. bell time there in Blytheville. And Friday, March 29th in Cherry Valley, Arkansas, 8 o'clock bell time. That is USWA Championship Wrestling on tour. Be sure to get to it when it's in your town. Jonesboro tonight, Coliseum Wednesday night. Right?
You're right about that, Mr. Corey, son of a gun. Well, I hope you got him straightened out here. I'm always glad to see Bill, but he does get a little volatile sometimes.
A little bit, but you know, that's Bill Dundee.
Yes, it is.
I want to talk just a second about the fact, well, you know, something that Corey just talked about. Going to be over in Jonesboro, Arkansas tonight. Looking forward to seeing everybody over there. Don't forget the haircut 1 to 3 today. We're going to be doing that. But I want to talk about this Wednesday night. And, you know, last Saturday, didn't get the opportunity to win the gold there. But this Wednesday night is another opportunity to get what I feel like is rightfully mine. You know how I feel about the Unified World Heavyweight Championship, the belt that I unified. And
you the man.
No, you the man. But anyway, there's going to be a 10-man elimination match for this. And as a matter of fact, like we were talking earlier, you know, with Jeff's back injured, I don't even know if he's going to. This is to determine the #1 contender. But I mean, Jeff just may have to hand over that belt to whoever wins this thing, because his back is in bad shape. If he can't defend in 30 days, what happens?
Has to be taken away, unfortunately.
Bell goes by.
But it does make this big main event match going to be more significance to it for the #1 contender.
Oh, without a doubt. That's why I'm looking forward to it. You know, I don't like to go out and promise that I'm going to win matches, because it's, you know, whenever you step in the ring, you never know exactly what's going to happen. So I'm not going to make a promise, but I am going to say this. I want to warn each and every one of these 10 guys, or these other 9 guys that's going to be in this match. I'm talking to Brian Christopher, J.C. Ice, Wolfie D, Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert. Each and every one of you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care what it takes. I don't care what I have to do. I'm not going to be in there to win any popularity contest Wednesday night. I'm going to be in there to win the title. And I'm going to tell you right now, no matter what it takes, no matter what I have to do, I'm going to do it, brother.
You don't often make those kind of promises, as you said. And here comes Bill again. Bill, I had hoped we'd gotten this all straightened
So let me ask you, you know what the word hoodwink means?
Yeah, I think I do, Bill.
Well, I just got hoodwinked, you know, by him. What did he say when he come out here?
What are you talking about,
We said we'll
Billy?
go to the back and we'll talk about the situation.
That's right.
He never said a word when we got back there. He just said, nice to see you, Bill, and off he walked. Now, I ask you. Now, another thing I'm going to ask you.
No, let me tell you something.
Oh, no.
The reason that he did that was because he knows it's inappropriate for you to be out here discussing dirty laundry.
We got nose to nose and I got fired. That's what it was all about, and that's what it's all about now. I would like somebody to go fire the other two guys that got involved, not just me.
Look, Bill, why don't you quit talking about that? As Lance has tried to tell you, and everybody's tried to tell you, and that's why I came out here. This is not the time. It's not the place. Now, that's been your problem here, Bill. Like you said, you know, we've been on both sides of the fence, and that's exactly why. It's because of your mouth. You run that mouth, and you let that mouth a lot of times make promises that your body can't keep. And what you also do is you run your mouth so much that half of the guys in the dressing room can't stand you, Bill. Now, the fans see Bill Dundee, Mr. Nice Guy, that comes out here, tries to be nice, tries to please everybody, but they don't see you when you're back in the dressing room trying to tell all the other wrestlers how great you are. Now, you certainly don't endear yourself to them, and that's where you got into trouble to begin with, and you shouldn't be out here talking about it. That's why I came out to get rid of you.
All right, well, seeing we got all that off your chest, let me get this other thing off my chest. How can you have a 10-man match for a belt that I ain't in? How can you really do that? I've whooped this guy more times than anybody.
Well, you want me to give you the simple answer is because you don't work for this company, Bill. That's
All right,
simple.
and that was politics. I'm going back to where I get treated with respect. Ozark Mountain Wrestling. Burt Prentice, at least if he tells you something, it happens. And he got fired for the same
Bill.
thing. You got rid of Burt Prentice because you got jealous of him, said he stole the belt off you. Now, here's the other thing. When I beat you for the belt, I wrestled some idiot from the WWF. Tommy Rich runs out, drops me on my head. He climbs on top, and they said he was the winner. So I come to the back. I said, Mr. Eddie Martin, give me a rematch. He said, there was no rematch contract.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about how you got to wrestle Razor Ramon, and I didn't. Everything that happens around here, you can get done, Kingfish. You got that match right out from under me. Now put me in this one.
Bill, it's done. It's a 10-man match, and that is all there is to it. You're not working for the company. Look, we'll talk about this, I promise you, as long as you want to after the show is over. But we've got a lot of matches. We got a big main event. Thank you very much for being out here.
You're not in it. You're not in it.
All right. Well,
That's
just
the
before
answer.
I leave, I used to have a lot of respect for you. I used to have more respect for him, I guess, than anybody else. But you know what I do to people I got no respect for no more?
I have... Oh... Well, in a typical tactful way that Bill Dundee handles most things, he comes out here and spits all over. Jerry, I'm sorry about it, and that is the way that goes.
Now, let me just say this. Bill Dundee, you want to be out here on this TV? Get your ass back out here right now, pal. I'm telling you right now, get out here. No, hey, come on, you want to spit on somebody? You want to be involved in a match? You got a match, me and you, Dundee, so come on back out here right now.
No,
If he thinks he's going to spit in my face and get away with it, Lance, I'll kick his teeth out, I'll kick his false teeth out, and I'll kick his butt all the way back to Australia. Get out here, Dundee.
I don't blame you for being mad, yeah. Thank you, Randy. Let's get this thing back on track.
Talk to you in the back.
No, you cannot talk to me in the back. You can talk to me right now. No, you can get Dundee's butt right out here right now. And you can, I'll tell you what you can do. He wants a match. You can make a match. Now, I don't care about the 10-man match. You can make a match. Me and Dundee, make it. Right now, he wants it.
I know you're mad about him, but calm down and listen to me.
He ain't gonna spit in my face, Randy.
I
He'll get
understand.
away with it. What's the match? Make the match.
Listen to me. After that Ripley, I spent all night long deciding on the situation. We got to TV. Bill Dundee is not employed by this company. He doesn't work here. He's never going to work here. He was suspended, and I'm not going to add the match. Bill Dundee's not going to work for this company again. Eddie Marlin agreed. Jerry Jarrett agreed. And, Jerry, you understand we can't allow things like he did.
No, why don't you just
I
do
don't
this?
condone
Why don't you hire him back for one night, me and him, then you can fire him again.
I'm telling
No, you won't have to fire him again because, believe me, when I get through with this little scrawny butt, you won't ever worry about seeing Bill Dundee again. One night, hire him back.
I am not going to... We'll have to get a contract. We'll have to pay him. And I'm not going to do it, Jerry. Nothing against you, but Bill Dundee is not going to be on any card I have anything to do with. He's disrupted this whole TV. He spit at you, and he's...
Yeah,
he's
no lie.
nuts.
So that's it's no big deal to you. He spit on me, and I ain't going to let him get away with it. I'll tell you what. Hey, Dundee, if you got the guts, why don't you just show up Wednesday night? We'll make it. Don't have to be a sanction match. He don't have to work for USWA. After all the other matches are over, Bill Dundee, I'll walk out to the middle of that ring in the Coliseum. Have you got the guts enough to say that you'll walk out there? You don't have to pay me for the match. Don't pay Dundee for the match. You got the guts, Dundee? You want to spit on somebody? Show up down there Wednesday night. If you got any guts, after all the other matches are over, I will kick your rear end, like I said, all the way back to the land down under from where you came, you little sawed-off runt. Has he got the guts? Will he show up?
I don't know. I'll go see. I just don't want him to get... I'm sure you understand, too. I don't want him to get a dime from this company.
Hey, Dundee, you want to prove yourself? You say you can whip the king anytime you step in the ring with him? Come on down. No money involved. You still ain't working for the USWA. This is just me and you. This is just personal, pal. Have you got the guts, Dundee?
Okay, well, Okay, yeah, check. I haven't seen the king that mad in a long, long time. We're going to take time out. We've got still a big show to go. Be back to it in a moment.
A great USWA action coming up in just a moment right here in the ring. Before we get to that, though, I want to take just a minute to give a couple of guys a chance to say what they want to say, and this is not who I had in mind. Here comes Scott Bowden leading the way out here. Doug Gilbert and Wildfire Tommy Rich headed this way, too.
You know, I got news for those two Fraser high school dropouts, PG-13 and J.C. Ice. School is back in session, baby, and you're looking at the teachers, the professors of pain, Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert. It's going to be a long, hard lesson, boys.
Well, the match coming up here against the champion should indeed be a tough one.
You know what, Dave Brown? You've got PG-13. They run out here and they run their mouth about how tough they are. They've been USWA Tag Team Champions about 8 or 9 times. But what's that mean? They've lost them 8 times. And about 4 of those times they've lost them to us. Now, Tommy, after this week, I don't really see any more of PG-13 to you. And Dave Brown, by the way, I've heard people out here talking a little earlier. It makes me wonder about things. See, everything's not always heard. What I would like to do right now, you know, there's a lot of people around here that's got yellow streaks right down their back, haven't they, Tommy? There's a lot of people that dodge. There's a lot of people that run. There's a lot of people that hide. Now, what I'm going to say right now, J.C. Ice, Wolfie D, if you've got one little gut in your body, I want you to come out here right now and face me and Tommy Rich face to face, right out here, Dave.
They don't need to do that. You've got a match book later on with them, and, you know, that should suffice. Get in the ring right there. What do they need to talk about?
Tonight, we want them to come out here. We just want to talk.
Well, here they are. Well, you prove one thing. They got guts to come showing out here. 2 against 3 of you with Bowden hanging around here. Yeah, you're back here. All right, guys.
You see? Now, you see, boys, right here you're wearing something that belonged to 2 real champions like you're looking at. Hey, hold it. You're real popular. There's one 6-year-old girl over there hollering for you. But see, yeah, it's probably your little girl. It's already she's hollering for you. But hold on. There seems to be a little controversy about a few things that's going on. Now, let me tell you something. Before it gets bad, before these people, every one of them, hey, shut up, Toothless, man. Before anything else happens, why don't you go ahead and take those belts off right there and go ahead and strap it around my waist? Oh, okay. Get out of my face, promise. You have to beat somebody.
You got
if you want
to
a belt.
earn something, brother. You got to earn this belt. And I'll tell you what I'll do, big boy. I'll give you the chance right now to get in the ring and earn it right this second.
Hey, hold it. Who even says that you're in my league more or less in Wildfire Tommy Rich's league. You ain't even man enough to lace up my boots.
Well,
I wouldn't even...
This says I'm in your league, because obviously you want to get in my league and get a little bit of this belt's what you want, boy.
Hey, I think Tommy Rich has got a little guarantee for you and for you.
You know, whether it happens right this minute or whether it happens Wednesday night, you know, everybody wants to get on the bandwagon. I heard Jerry Lawler talking about how good Tommy Rich and Doug Gilbert was because we whooped all the WWF had to offer. Well, let me tell you something, you little punk. You want to do it now, we can do it now, we can do it Wednesday night. Because I've got one thing,
Hold it.
The bottom line is, I'm going to guarantee you, and all these stinking rednecks, whether it's right now or Wednesday night, we're going to win the tag team titles, boys.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else, Tommy Rich. We ain't giving nothing to you two, and it ain't no secret. I hate you, and I hate you, so let's do it, big guy. Get it on.
Well, they head to the ring, and
this goes along with...
Here's Randy Hales out. I don't know. Well, there they go. J.C. Ice and Doug Gilbert going at each other.
Give him the easy way out. We tried to give him the easy way out.
Wolfie down on the floor, pounding on Doug Gilbert. Here comes Wildfire Tommy Rich and nails Wolfie as Randy Hales, referee Bill Rush over there trying to get them separated. They had a match between Gilbert and Rich and Ripley Prim in the shadow. And we ended up with a little interim battle going on between PG-13. They just don't like each other. And Doug Gilbert has got one of the belts.
Yeah, he does.
That may cause a war right there.
Could indeed. I don't know how he ended up in possession of that, but he's got it in his hand. Well, now the referee's got it and passes out of the ring. And Randy Hales has got it. So now I think we're about ready to go with the match we originally had scheduled here. Yeah, the referee calls for the bell. It is Ripley Prim and the Shadow against Doug Gilbert and Tommy Rich. Scott Bowden over in the corner of Rich and Gilbert. Always a presence with which to be reckoned.
You know, it's just like Tommy Rich guaranteed that victory. It kind of reminds me of Joe Namath guaranteeing that Super Bowl victory. And you saw what happened there, baby. We got the confidence, we got the ability, and they got the world's greatest manager.
And you got some opponents who have the championship belts and who are, as they have said, they're not just going to hand them over to you. You're going to have a battle on your hands when you climb in the ring later this week.
Snap suplex from Doug Gilbert on Ripley Prim, and Prim is dumped out of the rope onto the floor. And he is down on the studio floor as Gilbert setting him up for again that snap suplex, and he really hammered him hard.
Out on that floor, which has no give to it.
They know the wrestling ring is where it's supposed to be and not out on a floor.
Wrestling's wherever we want it.
I think they just killed him. What's that guy's name? Ripley Flip? I think that killed him. Call 911.
Referee Bill Rush counting, but Doug gets him up, throws him back in the ring. And he looks DDT. He slammed him down into that mat. This poor young guy is learning the hard way, Dave.
He is indeed. No doubt he is overmatched here by Doug Gilbert and Wildfire Tommy Rich. And they are just showing absolutely no mercy. Rich fires into the rope. Doug Gilbert just sort of dropped into the mat. Just sort of let him fall. Now he grabs him. Look out. Going for pile driver. Yeah, he pile drives him right in the center of the ring. Ripley Prim, after being hammered on the floor, now is hit with a pile driver. And look at him coming. And an insult to injury. Or maybe injury to injury.
Yes. Should have been a disqualification, but the referee had his back to the situation when he goes, and here again, Rich distracts him, and down on the mat he goes with a pile driver, Ripley Prim. Boy, I tell you, I feel like ringing the bell, just Snap again, and there he goes over with that suplex, and Doug Gilbert drives down over. This is terrible. And the Shadow is up on the ring apron. 1, 2, 3. Finally got that over.
Well, they're a powerful, powerful tag team. There's no doubt about it. Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich, Wildfire, and Dangerous Doug. Hey, a Hammer Shadow over there again. They took him out of it early on. Scott Bowden, Scott Bowden is just, he had a towel over here, and he's just unwrapped it and handed something.
We're going to do a little art today. We're going to do a little painting today, Dave.
That's a can of spray paint. One can only imagine what they have in mind. Ripley Prim lying there in the center of the ring. Well, now maybe
I hope that makes you feel
see that
sick.
yellow dog, let's wrestle.
Here comes PG-13. JC nailing Doug Gilbert. Whoopie D with Tommy. As PG-13 came in, a little do-si-do and the drop kick, and down go Richard Gilbert. As they were painting Ripley Prim. And here comes PG-13 and got him out of that ring by taking on Richard Gilbert.
Those guys right there still have the belts, and they've just proven that they can run the challengers out of the building. We'll see what happens later on. But for today, well, I guess the victory is going to go to Richard Gilbert over Ripley Prim and the Shadow.
Brian Christopher, Tracy Smothers coming up. We got to take time out. Okay. Boy, you know, it all seems so neat earlier before we started the show. Son of a gun, it's gotten wild and woolly. I can
Seems
guarantee
to happen
you that.
a lot, doesn't it?
Let's talk about Wednesday night. We got a big one down at the Mid-South Coliseum. Bell time is going to be set up. Now, I got to tell you.
For a man that doesn't work here, he's sure been around a lot today.
Bill, I got to tell you, our hospitality's getting thin out here. We've got things to do. We still got a main event.
Hey, does Lawler think I have nothing else to do on a Wednesday night except hang around here to come down and fight him?
Hey, well, you're the one that came out here and said, oh, I want to
come out here to do. No, I came out here to get something straight and why we got fired. Well, let me tell you something, Lawler. I got a prior obligation to the Sportatorium in Jonesboro Wednesday night, and I'm going to have Bert Prentice put me on early, and then I'm going to get in my car, and I'm going to drive down to the Coliseum, brother. And it's going to be you, and it's going to be me. And you know the first thing I'm going to do to you when I get in the ring? I'm going to spit right in your face again, punk, because I used to have a lot of respect for you. You're right. You used to be the king around here. Well, we ain't getting paid. We're doing it for free, and you're... Here we go again. I ought to hit you right in the nose because you who's fired me.
I have you thrown in jail if you hit me. Bill, I think you come out here and screwed up the whole show, but one thing that I would like to do, I'd like to see you Wednesday night at the Mid-South Coliseum get your butt kicked by Jerry Lawler. That's what I'd like to see. And let me make this perfectly clear. He made the challenge. You apparently just accepted it. But I'm telling you, you don't work for this company. You'll never work for this company, and you will not be paid for that match. I promise you.
Bert Prentice was right about you, you punk. He said I should have knocked you out. It would have been worth going to jail. Well, you just tell Kingfish, brother, I've accepted his challenge, and if you come near the ring Wednesday night, I'm going to beat your brains out.
All right.
I'm not sanctioned.
We got it, but it is added to the card down there, a non-sanctioned match with Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee in there. Now, if we can get back to what we were doing, we wanted to tell you 7:30. That does make a little extra added attraction. One of the great ones, 7:30 at the Mid-South Coliseum. Going to be a heck of a night of action and getting better all the time, Dave.
Indeed. Well, now that makes it 7 matches coming up Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum. 6 of them sanctioned by the USWA. First match, Derek Domino and Harvey Lewis will be going against Spellbinder and Tony Williams.
Miss Texas is going to be taking on Scott Bowden and Brandon Baxter in a handicap match.
Grudge match, Tracy Smothers with Brandon Baxter over in the corner against Jesse James Armstrong. That one was not patched up as it earlier appeared it might be.
By golly, I'll tell you, that is going to be a great match. USWA tag title match. Tommy Rich, Doug Gilbert meet it officially for the titles, PG-13.
USWA heavyweight title is on the line. Brand new belt. Too sexy. Brian Christopher is the USWA heavyweight champion. He's being challenged by a big guy, though. Sir Mo from Men on a Mission.
And a 10-man elimination match, which is going to have the winner of that match, the #1 contender for the unified world heavyweight title. Look at some of the names: Lawler, Wolfie D, Armstrong, Rich, Smothers, Christopher, J.C. Ice, Spellbinder, Gilbert, and Sir Mo, all battling for the #1 contender spot, Dave.
What a main event, but that's not all. Remember, the non-sanctioned match has been added. Randy Hale said nobody's getting paid by us, but Lawler says just come on out here. After it's all over, we'll have a match. Dundee accepted. Bill Dundee against the King, Jerry Lawler. What a night.
Oh, I got to tell you, we're going to settle something right there and there. We'll be back in just a moment with our main event.
Ready now for our main event today on USWA Championship Wrestling. This one should be a dandy. Our main event today on USWA Wrestling. First introducing at a weight of 240 pounds out of Springfield, Tennessee, Tracy Smothers, and his opponent today out of Memphis, Tennessee, the new USWA heavyweight champion out of Memphis, Tennessee, Too Sexy, Brian Christopher. We're underway shortly with our main event. Over now to L and R and D.
All right. Good job, Corey. We'll have participants
What'd he
up there.
say? What'd he say?
L and D.
L and D. Tracy Smothers headed to the ring. Got what's left of that rebel flag with a broken standard in there. Brandon Baxter in the corner, and Miss Patricia also over in the corner. Well, they bring an army with them, though. They can't just come one against Brian Christopher. Brian wearing that brand new USWA heavyweight title belt. This is a non-title match, but it should be a good one. Yeah, isn't that pretty?
Belt is gorgeous. Well, it'll be the first time you've attacked anybody from the front in a while, I'll say that.
I don't know what all he's saying, but he's complaining about something. Tracy Smothers. Meanwhile, Brian Christopher taking great care to have that beautiful USWA heavyweight title. Smothers still focused on Jesse James Armstrong. He says he's gonna be the next heavyweight champion, but he's also going after Jesse James Armstrong.
Tracy Smothers, and it really irritates me because Tracy, real good athlete, fine wrestler, used to be one heck of a guy. What in the world is Sir Mo doing out here? He was out earlier and won it. Now you're going to have to do a lot more than reach down and pick the belt up off our desk, Mo, before you get there.
Lance Russell, just shut up. I'm just out here as an observer. Just keep my eye on Brian Christopher. And this gold right here belongs to me.
It does not belong to you. It belongs to Brian Christopher. You have to...
Yeah, it looks awfully good. A beautiful brand new belt. All right, enough with the thing. Mo's sitting out here figuring the only way he's going to get the belt is steal it off the desk. Brian Christopher up from behind, rolls him down and got a 2 count on the front. Takes him over and down. That's what you're going to have to be facing.
I'm not impressed, Lance Russell. Brian Christopher is a washed-up bum. I'm not impressed.
Well, a lot of people have not been impressed by Brian Christopher, and they've ended up on the losing side. I think the fact that that belt you're holding on to belongs to Brian Christopher speaks for itself in that.
Yeah, it belongs to him, but it's only temporary. Because once I get him in the ring, he's going to lose his belt, he's going to lose his career, and he's going to lose his... I can't say that.
He leg scissor takedown on Tracy Smothers. Smothers back up, reverses and does the same, slips in and loses a headlock. Our time running down here on this match. Son of a gun.
Tracy Smothers got out of the ring, probably a wise move on his part, as Christopher was going to hammer that arm up behind his back and work on him. Brandon Baxter and Armstrong and Smothers with a bit of a conference out on the floor there. I think Smothers is still thinking about Armstrong. Oh boy, that's not a good sign. Brandon Baxter over to shake hands with Mo.
Yeah. Mo, you need to ask Tatanka just how easy Brian Christopher is. He didn't find him so easy.
Well, let me tell you something, Lance Russell. Tatanka's not even in my league, okay? Where I come from, Tatanka can't even walk down my alley.
Smothers misses him, trying to rush to the corner. Brian Christopher firing back with the right hand. Referee trying to stop him. He won't. Good puck kick, and Smothers goes down. Oh, kicks him right over with that foot, and a beautiful move by Brian Christopher. We're down to time, and the time limit going to run out right here as Tracy tries to get in.
You know what? Brian Christopher's not even going to be the champion by the time I meet him. Excuse me, I got somewhere to go.
Oh, look out. Mo around behind Brian Christopher, shoves him into the ring. Tracy Smothers comes over with a cover. The referee starts a count, 2. Only a 2 count. That's all he was able to get.
We got to take a break. We'll take time out, and we will be back in just a moment. And that disqualification.
Christopher,
Mo
I'm not through with you. I let you live today so I can beat you tomorrow.
All right, we're back.
Baxter's trying to send Mo in there after Brian Christopher.
And while you were gone, it was an interruption by Mo, a disqualification. Christopher's the winning. That's not helping.
Yeah, that's it. But boy, the action continues. This is a long way from being over, let me tell you. And it's not going to be settled here today. It's not going to be settled for one thing, because we're just about out of time.
Got to remind you that coming up Wednesday night, it's going to be a night you'll want to be there. We've got the added match. Neither one of them getting paid, non-sanctioned. Jerry Lawler against superstar Bill Dundee. Now, the end of the main event is going to be a 10-man elimination with all of the great stars to see who will be the #1 contender for the unified world title. We're out of time. So for Corey Macklin, Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.